And don't forget to subscribe.
Hello, this is Fat Puppy here, and today's going to be a little different. This is something I'm totally new at. I hope it comes through good. This is Diane of Graveside Chronicles, and she knows this cemetery that I do a lot of my stories from far better than I do, and honestly, I just think she's a better storyteller too. She's helped me on a story that I did of Dr. China and his murder, and I'll post a link to that below. And with that, I'm just going to let her tell the story, and hopefully I'll do good with the camera angles and everything. Miss Diane.
Today I'm going to be sharing with you the tale of Joseph Mackey. Now, Joseph Mackey was born in Ireland. His parents were Alexander and Charlotte Mackey. When Joseph was 9 years old, his father passed away, leaving his mother to take care of 6 children on her own, with Joseph being the oldest. Now, Joseph's father had a great-great-uncle from Augusta, Georgia, and his name was John Wilson. Now, he left Joseph's father an inheritance. So when Joseph was 14 years old, his mother sold everything they had. She put her children on a ship, and she brought them to America. They landed in New York, and they made their way to Augusta, where the children could claim their father's inheritance. Now, part of the inheritance was a farm, so the family settled into a happy farm life. Now, when Joseph was 23 years old, he enlisted in the 3rd U.S. Volunteer Infantry Unit of the Spanish-American War. Now, this unit was also known as an immune unit. Now, it was believed that if you were born and raised in the South, that you would be immune to the tropical diseases in Cuba. And the men in the immune unit, they were to take the place of the sick and dying men that were there. Well, of course, this wasn't true. Many men in the immune unit, they got sick and they died as well. There were actually 39 men who died of tropical diseases in Joseph's unit, but Joseph wasn't one of them. Now, they served for about a year, and on May the 2nd, 1899, their unit was mustered out. Now, when Joseph was 36 years old, he married a young woman from Sumter, South Carolina, Miss Harriet Mason, or as her family and friends called her, Hattie. Now, they had a small ceremony in her parents' home, and then they settled in to their new home in Bishopville, where Joseph worked for the Panama Oil Company. Now, he went on to work for the railroad, and then he eventually became the foreman for the Brooklyn Cooperage Company. Now, for those of you who do not know what the Brooklyn Cooperage Company did, they made barrels. Now, they were pretty self-sufficient. They harvested their own trees. They had their own logging locomotives that would go into the forest and bring the felled trees to the sawmill. Now, Sumter actually had their largest operation. Now, not only did they make regular barrels here, they also made whiskey barrels. Now, there was only a few kind of trees that they used to make whiskey barrels, and one of them was a white oak. And there was a huge abundance of them in this area, where many of the northern operations, they were pretty scarce. So it's a good bet that the majority of the whiskey barrels were made right here in Sumter, South Carolina. Now, the couple, throughout their marriage, lived in the Sumter, Florence area. Now, the two of them never had any children, but they did adopt a little girl from Augusta. Her name was Pearl. And she met a man from Florence, Mr. William Cooper. The two of them got married, they moved to Florida, and they had 6 children. Now, Joseph passed away at the age of 65 from kidney failure, and his wife, Miss Hattie, she lived about another 20 years, and she passed away in a nursing home in Florence in 1961. Now, Miss Hattie was a longtime member of the Trinity Methodist Church here in town. Now, Joseph, he didn't do anything spectacular. He was just your everyday, ordinary type of hero. A hard-working man whose mother wanted something more for her children than she knew that she would get if they remained in Ireland. Now, let me share an old Irish saying with you. May you find what you seek wherever you roam. I think Mrs. Mackey did just that when she brought her children to America. So Now, before I end today, I want to point out something a little peculiar about their headstones. Now, this is Joseph's, and this is his wife, Harriet or Hattie. Now, if you look on this one, you'll see his last name is spelled M-A-C-K-Y. Now, that's the correct spelling. Now, Miss Hattie's is spelled M-A-C-K-E-Y, and is actually spelt that same way on her death certificate, which is incorrect. So remember, if you're out in the cemetery looking at stones, that everything etched in stone is not correct. Well, thank you for having me here tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed the story of Joseph Mackey.
Thank you, thank you. So something I want to point out real quick. She did that with no notes. I can't live without my notes. My story will fall apart. Now, granted, she's probably studied this longer and everything too. Miss Diane, I really appreciate you doing this, for collaborating with me on this. Those in the local area, pay attention, because she does cemetery tours, and as you can see, she knows her stuff. And with that, I'm just going to say, don't forget to give this thing a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Y'all have a good day.
Don't forget to give it a thumbs up.
And when you subscribe, there'll be a bell that'll show up on the right-hand side of the screen. Hit that and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. Thank you.